Virgo gathers information before deciding. You weigh every variable, consider every consequence, run every scenario through your careful mind before committing to a course of action. You do not choose impulsively. You do not leap before you look. You look thoroughly enough that sometimes by the time you feel ready to move, the moment has already shifted slightly, requiring you to begin the assessment process all over again. This is not a flaw. This is the particular expression of an intelligence that takes choices seriously, that understands consequences, that respects the weight of decisions enough to approach them with appropriate care. It is one of your greatest strengths. But in the next 7 days, decisions are going to arrive that cannot wait for perfect information. They will not come with the full data set you prefer. They will not allow the extended period of analysis that would make you feel fully certain. They will arrive at the door of your life and they will require an answer. Not tomorrow, not after more consideration, but now or very nearly now. And the answer they require will need to come not from the conclusion of your analysis, but from the truth of what you already know in the deepest and most honest part of yourself. The universe is asking you in this particular window to trust what you already know, and to choose from that knowledge, even in the presence of uncertainty. These are the 11 decisions heading your way. 1. Whether to stay in a situation you have already analyzed past the point of doubt, or to trust what the analysis is actually telling you. This is the decision that has been living at the center of your awareness for quite some time, even if you have not named it as a decision, because it feels from the inside less like a choice and more like an ongoing state, something you are existing within rather than something you are actively choosing. But the truth is that every day you remain in an analyzed past the point of doubt situation, you are making a choice. A quiet one, passive one, but a choice nonetheless. And the specific quality of what you are doing, analyzing past the point of doubt, is worth examining carefully because it contains a very particular kind of honesty. To have analyzed something past the point of doubt means that the doubt has already resolved, means that the analysis has already arrived somewhere. You have, on some level, already reached a conclusion. The continued analysis is not gathering new information. It is not approaching certainty from below. It is something else, a kind of holding pattern that your mind has entered because the conclusion it has reached is uncomfortable, or because acting on it seems complex, or because the habit of not deciding has become a familiar enough state that stepping out of it requires an energy that feels almost foreign. But that energy is available to you. It is always there. And the question this decision is asking you is simple. Even if living it is not, are you going to act on what you already know? The analysis has done its work. It has given you everything you needed. The information is complete. The only thing that has been missing is the willingness to let the conclusion be final, to stop holding the question open as a courtesy to a possibility that your own careful mind has already eliminated. A situation that you have analyzed past the point of doubt is a situation your intelligence has already told you the truth about. The decision in front of you is whether to listen. And for the first time in a while, the energy surrounding you right now is fully supportive of the courage it takes to listen. This week, something will make the choice feel less like losing something and more like returning something to yourself, the clarity, the direction, the forward motion that waiting has been holding at a careful distance. 2. Whether to speak a truth you have been holding back out of concern for how it will land. There is something you have not said. You know what it is. It has been sitting inside you, fully formed, clearly understood, with all the necessary words already present and ready, and you have not said it. Not because you lack the language for it, not because you are uncertain whether it is true, but because you have been running the calculation of how it will be received, and the results of that calculation have been generating enough projected discomfort to keep the truth in its holding place for longer than it probably should have stayed there. This is a recognizable Virgo pattern. You care about impact. You care about the effect your words have on other people, on relationships, on the delicate social structures that you have learned to navigate with care. And caring about impact is admirable. It is a sign of emotional intelligence and genuine consideration. But there is a point at which the management of impact becomes a management of truth itself, where the care for how something will land has crossed over into a quiet suppression of something that genuinely needs to be said. You have been at that crossing point for a while. The truth you have been holding is not a small one. It is something real, something that matters to the situation or the relationship it concerns, something that its recipient actually needs to know, even if they will not initially welcome hearing it. And there is a particular kind of consideration in you that has been protecting them from it, because you do not want to cause pain, because you are not sure they are ready, because you have been hoping that the situation might resolve itself without requiring you to be the one who introduces the difficult thing. But the situation has not resolved on its own, and what you have been experiencing in the ongoing silence is a particular kind of internal tension, the friction that builds when what you know and what you say are not the same. That friction is a cost. It is a cost to your own integrity, which matters deeply to you. And it is a cost to the other person, who is navigating their life without a piece of information that belongs to them. This week, the decision about whether to speak this truth is going to become more pressing. Something will happen that makes the cost of continued silence feel higher than the cost of honest speech. When that moment arrives, trust your voice. Not the version of it that worries about landing perfectly, but the real version, the one that knows what is true and is willing to say so with gentleness and care and the steady courage of a person who takes honesty seriously. 3. Whether to extend trust to someone who is asking for another chance to prove themselves. Trust, for Virgo, is not handed out generously and without reason. It is earned through demonstrated reliability, through consistency, through the long-term record of someone being who they said they were. You do not extend it quickly or carelessly. And when trust is broken, when someone demonstrates through their actions that they are not operating at the standard you hold for the people in your inner circle, the path back to full trust is a specific and significant one. You do not simply forget. You do not simply decide to override what you observed. You require real evidence that something has genuinely changed, not just better managed behavior or more persuasive promises. This standard is appropriate. It is not coldness. It is self-respect. And yet, a decision is arriving that will require you to think carefully about the specific situation in front of you, because this one has some nuance that your general framework may not fully resolve. Someone is asking for another chance. They are asking you to extend trust that they previously compromised. And the decision in front of you is not as simple as yes or no, because there are real things to consider on both sides, and your discerning mind is capable of holding all of them. On one side, what they showed you in the past, the specific way trust was broken, whether the pattern of behavior has genuinely shifted or whether what you are seeing is simply a better presentation. On the other side, what you know about this person's capacity for real growth, whether the circumstances surrounding the original breach have meaningfully changed, whether your own values around forgiveness and human development leave room for genuine second chances to actually function as second chances. The decision you are being pushed toward is not necessarily one that ends in either a full yes or a permanent no. It may be a more nuanced answer, a conditional extension, a structured form of provisional trust that creates space for demonstration without requiring you to abandon your own standards of evidence. But make the decision consciously this time. Do not drift into extended trust because of longing or fatigue, or the discomfort of remaining in uncertainty. And do not refuse it reflexively because refusing feels safer. Look at what is actually in front of you with the precision and honesty your mind is fully capable of, and make the choice that your whole self, not just the careful self-protective part, but the whole of you can stand behind. If what you are hearing feels accurate, know that it could happen if you applied this energy consistently for 21 consecutive days. That is the 21-day challenge pinned at the top of this channel. It is built around daily guidance, focused direction, and real momentum. If you are tired of staying in the same cycle, that structure is exactly what has been missing. 4. Whether to take a step forward that has no complete information set, only a feeling that it is right. This is the one that challenges you most directly, Virgo, because it asks you to operate in precisely the territory you are least comfortable with. Not the territory of facts or evidence or careful analysis. The territory of knowing without being able to fully explain the knowing. A step is in front of you. An opportunity, a path, a possibility, something that has presented itself and is asking for a response. And the response it is asking for cannot be delivered through the completion of your preferred analytical process, because the information necessary to make a fully evidence-based decision is not available. You cannot verify the outcome. You cannot model all the variables. You cannot eliminate the uncertainty that makes your careful mind want to wait. All you have is a feeling, and the feeling is clear. It is consistent. It has been there every time you think about this step. A steady, quiet sense that it is the right direction. Not a loud certainty, not a drama of excitement or urgency, but something more like a deep, calm knowing that this is where your energy belongs. The question is whether that feeling is enough. Whether you are willing to act on what you know internally without the external confirmation you typically require before committing to motion. Here is what is true. Most of the forward movements that have genuinely mattered in your life have not been made with complete information, because complete information is almost never available when real movement is required. The steps that have shaped who you are, that have taken you somewhere genuinely new, have nearly always required that precise act of stepping forward on the basis of a clear and honest internal knowing, before the external world had confirmed that the step was safe. This is one of those moments. The feeling is clear. The direction is consistent. What is missing is not information. What is missing is the permission you have been waiting for, from some external source, to take what your own inner voice has already confirmed is the right step. You have permission. It has always been yours to give. This week, consider giving it. 5. Whether to choose rest when your perfectionist mind insists there is still more to do. There is always more to do. You know this. You have always known it. Your to-do list is never empty, not because you are inefficient, but because your standards mean that as soon as one thing is completed, another becomes visible that needs attention. There is always a refinement to be made, a detail to revisit, something that could be improved if only you gave it a little more time and care. And for much of your life, this orientation has served you well. It has produced work of real quality. It has made you the person others rely on, the one who actually finishes what they start, who notices what others miss, who delivers not just something but something genuinely good. But something happens to a person and to a body and to a mind when they never allow themselves to simply stop. When every moment of potential rest is converted into a moment of continued output. When the capacity for stillness, real stillness, not just the absence of visible activity but the genuine setting down of internal effort, is so consistently overridden that it eventually begins to protest in ways that can no longer be ignored. You have been running at a certain pace for a long time. Your mind has been engaged. Your standards have been applied. Your attention and care have been on call. And a decision is arriving this week that will look from the outside like a small one, whether to stop for now or to keep going. Whether to allow this evening, this afternoon, this day to include real rest. But it is not actually a small decision, because the choice to rest for Virgo requires overcoming a deeply held internal belief that there is no moment at which all the important things have been attended to enough to justify stopping. And that belief is simply not true. You do not need to earn rest by completing everything. Rest is not a reward for finished work. It is a necessary part of the cycle that makes the work possible at all. This week, the decision is whether to give your mind and body what they have been quietly and persistently asking for, not because everything is finished, but because you matter enough to be tended to even when things are not. 6. Whether to pour your energy into someone who genuinely needs it or to protect the reserves you have been running low on. There is someone in your life who needs you. You are already aware of this. You can feel the pull of their need even when they are not directly in front of you. A background awareness of their situation, their struggle, the ways in which your presence, your practical help, your steady and capable energy would genuinely make a difference to them. And part of you very much wants to respond to that pull. Because service is not just something you do, Virgo. It is part of how you understand your own value and purpose in the world. The act of being genuinely useful to someone, of applying your considerable capabilities to a real and present need, gives you something that few other experiences match. But there is something else that is also true right now, and it requires the same honesty that you try to bring to everything else. Your reserves are not what they were. The energy you have available, not just the physical kind, but the emotional and mental kind, the reserves of genuine capacity and care that you draw from when you show up for other people, has been running lower than usual. This is not a permanent state. It is a current condition. And the decision in front of you is one that requires you to hold both truths at the same time. The truth of this person's genuine need, and the truth of your own genuine depletion. Pouring from an empty vessel is not generosity. It is a kind of performance of generosity that costs you without actually delivering what the other person needs, because what they need is your real presence and your real capacity, not a version of you that has been stretched past what it honestly has to give. There is a version of responding to this situation that is genuine, and that does not require the complete sacrifice of your own restoration. There is a careful middle path, one that offers what is actually available right now without promising what is not, and that maintains the honest boundaries between care and depletion. This week, you will be pushed to find that path. If this message is resonating with your sign right now, trust that it is not a coincidence. When the universe wants to speak to you, it sends exactly the right signal at exactly the right moment, and you are here because you needed to hear this today. Your support, whether as a subscriber or as a member of this community, is what keeps these messages alive. The ones that touch hearts, awaken minds, and transform lives. If this video has been making sense to you, drop in the comments the day you were born. Let us keep going. 7. Whether to return to a dream you set aside because the conditions were not yet right, or to accept that it has completed its time. There is something you wanted once. Something you pictured clearly, a life, a work, a way of being, a thing you were going to do or become or create. You were genuine about it. You were not fantasizing idly. You were the kind of person who had thought it through, who had considered the steps, who had understood what it would take. And at some point, circumstances arrived that made it seem like the timing was not right. Life redirected you. Responsibilities shifted. The conditions you needed were not present. And so you set it aside. Carefully, thoughtfully, in the Virgo way. Not abandoned chaotically but placed on a shelf, with a quiet internal understanding that you would return to it when things were more aligned. But the shelf has held it for longer than you originally anticipated. And a decision is arriving about what that dream actually means now, whether it still belongs to your future, waiting for the conditions that have not yet arrived, or whether the version of you that held that dream was a different version, operating in a different context, building toward a life that has since shifted into something else. This is a genuinely difficult discernment, and it requires a particular kind of honesty that only you can bring to it. Not the honesty of ruthless practicality, not just asking whether it is still feasible, whether the logistics work, whether the window has closed, but the deeper honesty of asking whether it is still true. Whether when you sit quietly with this dream and hold it without the noise of daily life around it, you feel its pull. Whether something in you still leans toward it. Whether the version of yourself that wanted it is still present in who you are now, or whether you have genuinely grown past that particular wanting and into a different, more current desire. If the pull is still real, this week may offer a door back in. If it is not, if what you feel is more like release than longing, then what you are being invited to do is set it down consciously and with respect. Not as a failure, but as a completion. Either answer is the right answer as long as it is true. 8. Whether to offer forgiveness, not for their sake but for the mental and emotional freedom it would return to you. You have been carrying something. Not always consciously, not always heavily, but it has been there. In the background, in the particular texture of certain thoughts, in the subtle way certain topics or memories arrive with a weight that other memories do not. Something was done or not done or said or withheld by someone whose treatment of you did not match what was right, what was fair, what you deserved. And you have not forgotten. You do not forget. Your memory is precise and it holds clearly what happened, how it happened, and how it felt. This is not a failing in you. It is simply how you are built. But there is a cost to carrying it. A cost that may have become so familiar that you have stopped registering it as a cost, and simply accept it as a background feature of your inner landscape. The mental energy that returns again and again to what was done. The way certain interactions or topics carry that weight into spaces where it does not need to be. The subtle guardedness that has developed in areas where there was once more openness, not just with the person involved, but in the general shape of how you hold yourself in the world. Forgiveness is a decision that is arriving this week, and the most important thing to understand about it is this. It is not a gift to the person who caused the harm. It is not an absolution, not a declaration that what happened was acceptable, not a reopening of a door that you rightly closed. It is an act of self-liberation. It is the decision to no longer allow what happened in the past to continue to consume present mental and emotional energy. It is the act of taking back the attention and inner space that unresolved resentment has been quietly occupying. For someone as mentally active as you, this liberation is not small. The territory that resentment has been living in, the mental real estate it has been occupying, is territory you could be using for something entirely different. Something yours. Something generative. The decision is whether you are ready to reclaim it. 9. Whether to release a habit or standard that has been protecting a past version of yourself rather than the person you are now. You have carried certain standards and habits for a very long time. Rules you made for yourself about how you behave, what you allow, how much you share, how close you let people come, what you require before you feel safe. Some of these were formed in response to specific experiences. difficult ones. Experiences that taught you something important about self-protection, about the cost of extending yourself too freely, about the dangers of certain kinds of openness. And at the time they were formed, these standards were exactly right. They were the correct response to real circumstances. They kept you safe in a way that you genuinely needed to be kept safe. But you have changed. The circumstances that formed those standards have shifted, some have resolved, some have moved into the past, some are no longer part of your active life. And the version of yourself that needed those particular rules, that specific protection at that specific level, is not quite the same version standing here now. You have grown. You have healed, even when the healing felt gradual enough that you could not always perceive it moving. You have developed resources, insights, and capacities that the past version of you was still in the process of building. And yet some of the standards built for that past version are still operating, still shaping what you allow and what you do not, what you extend and what you withhold, how close you let the world come before the protective habit engages. This week, a decision is arriving about one of these standards specifically, one that you can sense when you are honest with yourself, is no longer perfectly calibrated to who you actually are now. The question is whether you are willing to examine it, whether you are willing to ask whether this particular protection is still serving you, or whether it has become a limitation dressed in the language of wisdom. You are discerning enough to know the difference. The decision is whether to act on what you find. 10. Whether to say yes to something that does not come with a complete plan, only a clear and persistent sense of rightness. Something is waiting for your yes. Not a small thing. Something that has been presenting itself with a particular kind of quiet persistence. The way things present themselves when they are genuinely aligned with where a person is supposed to be going, rather than the loud urgency of things that are simply pressure or distraction. You have been circling it, considering it, running it through the usual process of evaluation. And what you keep finding is that the logical objections are manageable, none of them disqualifying, none of them pointing to an actual fundamental reason not to proceed. What you also keep finding is that the plan is not complete. There are steps that are not yet clear, outcomes that cannot be predicted, details that would need to be worked out as you go rather than resolved in advance. And for Virgo, this is a significant sticking point. You prefer to begin with the full plan in place. You prefer to know not just the first step in the destination but the path between them, the specific route, the contingencies, the decision points. The absence of that complete map creates an uncertainty that your careful mind wants to resolve before proceeding. But here is what the universe is showing you right now. The plan will not arrive before the yes. This is one of those situations where the next step is only revealed from the inside of the commitment, where the act of saying yes is itself the thing that opens the path forward. The information is not being withheld from you out of cruelty or negligence. It is structured this way because some forms of movement can only happen once a person has genuinely decided to move. The clarity you are waiting for is waiting on the other side of the decision. And the thing that is available to you right now, the persistent, calm, clear sense that this is right, is the only compass you need to begin. Say yes. The path will show itself. 11. Whether to fully believe, without the usual qualifying conditions, that you are exactly ready for what is coming. This is the most personal of all the decisions heading toward you this week, and in many ways it is the one that all the others depend on. Because the way you answer this question, in the quiet of your own internal experience, without performing for anyone else, without the careful hedging that protects you from the vulnerability of genuine self-belief, will shape how you meet every other decision on this list. There is something coming for you, not as a vague reassurance but as an actual directional truth. Something in your life is moving toward you that is genuinely significant, a shift, an opportunity, a chapter that requires a version of you who has arrived at a particular readiness. And the question the universe is placing before you right now is, do you believe you are that person? Not whether you are perfect, not whether you have resolved every difficulty, healed every wound, addressed every area of growth that you are aware of. The perfection bar is one you will never clear because it moves. You know this. Virgo always knows this, and it is part of the particular challenge of being you. The standard you hold for yourself does not stand still long enough for you to feel fully satisfied that you have met it. So the question is not that. The question is this: setting aside the incompleteness, the areas still in progress, the things you have not yet figured out, do you believe that who you are right now in this moment is enough to step into what is coming? Because the answer, if you are willing to hold it without immediately modifying it with qualifications, is yes. You have prepared more than you know. You have learned more than your current self-assessment reflects. You have healed, grown, clarified, strengthened in ways that are real even when they have been quiet. The readiness you keep looking for outside yourself, in the form of completed preparations or resolved uncertainties or some final confirmation that the time is right, that readiness is already present in you. The decision is whether to believe it. If this message resonated with your sign, trust that it is not a coincidence. When the universe wants to speak to you, it always sends exactly the right signal, and you are here because you needed to hear this today. Your support as a subscriber or as a member of this community is what keeps these messages alive. They are the messages that touch, awaken, and transform. If this video made sense to you, leave in the comments the day you were born. And so here you stand, Virgo, at the edge of a week that is asking more of you than your usual careful caution will be able to manage alone. 11 decisions, each arriving with its own weight, its own complexity, its own demand that you move from where you have been towards something that is asking for your genuine commitment. This is not a week for drifting. It is not a week for the quiet continuation of whatever patterns have been running without your full conscious participation. It is a week for choosing, actively, honestly, from the deepest and most real part of who you are, what direction your energy is going to flow. You will not do this perfectly. You will not resolve every decision with the completeness that your precise mind would prefer. You will choose without full information, without the certainty you wish you had, without the assurance that everything will align exactly as you have imagined. This is the condition of real choosing for everyone, including you. And the extraordinary thing about your particular mind, Virgo, the thing that makes these decisions less terrifying than they might be for someone else, is that you have already done the work. The analysis is complete. The processing has happened. The careful, thorough, patient work of understanding your own life and the people and situations within it has already produced results. What this week is asking you to do is simply act on those results. To trust the intelligence that has been working on your behalf, sometimes quietly and sometimes exhaustingly, and to let its conclusions finally guide you forward rather than continuing to revisit them. Every decision on this list is pointing toward a version of you that has chosen its own direction. A version that moves from genuine knowing rather than from anxiety about the unknown. A version that trusts itself, not blindly, not carelessly, but with the deep and earned confidence of someone who has looked honestly at their own life and knows what is true. That version is not far away. It is closer than it has ever been. These decisions are the door. You are exactly ready to walk through it.